Antonio. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Talking about the Mavericks? Oh, okay. Go ahead.
They don't play in San Antonio.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
48 wins made the playoffs last year. You guys are not getting, sorry, Jen, you're not getting the 40 wins. They'll be better, they'll be entertaining, but they're going to miss the playoffs again.
So if they do re-sign Julius Randle, which I think is a distinct possibility, and they do flip that number 4 overall pick for a proven player, I don't know who it might be. We'll wait and see in the next 48 hours because I think we'll hear then. All of a sudden, you got the best defensive backcourt in basketball and Lonzo and Drew Holiday. I could see that being the surprise team in the West. I could see the 8th seed. I could see a playoff team next year.
Well, we know who's going to be the number 1 seed, don't we, Skip? We know who's going to be the number 1 seed, don't we, Skip?
Golden State?
Stop playing.
I don't know.
Lakers.
Okay.
Over under. The Vegas probably said the over under at 56 games.
Great
over under.
stuff today, gentlemen.
I'm going over.
And Skip, thank you. We appreciate
Over.
it. That's it for us tonight. We will be back tomorrow morning.
There's nothing more that we can do. I mean, we've done it. The city's done it. This franchise done it. The coaches have done it. The teammates have done it. We've done our job. He came here and did what he was supposed to do. So he brought this city a championship, and, you know, I think he's earned his freedom in his career to do what he wants to do, and we'll all respect and you know, admire him. And if he's on another team, then we'll just have to kick his ass next year. But hopefully he'll be back.
Earned his freedom. Shannon, what do you think about Van Vliet's comments? Do you like them?
Skip, I agree with everything he just said. There's nothing more he can do. The year went better. I don't care what Kawhi Leonard said about coming in there when it was reported that he called Kyle Lowry and said, "I know you're disappointed that they traded your best friend, but I'm gonna come in there and let's work and let's do this." The year went better than they had possibly hoped for. They came up with a plan of how they were going to work with Kawhi, how they were going to treat his injury, the quad injury. He wasn't going to play back-to-back. Skip, they've given him, as Van Vliet mentioned in that soundbite, they've done everything they can do. Kawhi Leonard probably, when they go on the road, he probably has the presidential suite. Whomever he wants to travel on the team plane, be it Uncle Dennis, Aunt Susan, Cousin Mary, they're probably on the plane. They've done everything. His teammates have been more than accommodating. Even when they were wide open and Kawhi didn't pass him the ball, they was like, "That's a great shot, Kawhi." They've been over backwards for him. There's nothing else they can do. As he mentioned, Kawhi has earned the right by bringing this team a title, by being a free agent. He's played out his contract. He's earned the right to do what he's going to do. Skip, but I do believe this, excuse me, winning that title makes it a lot harder. Also, what makes it harder? Turning down 5 years, 191, as opposed to going on the open market, getting 4 years for 140. Now,
So that's about $50 million less.
Plus the $30 million that he lost from not getting a 215 from San Antonio. So now, Skip, you're looking at a possible $80 million swing.
Okay.
Given his injury history, I don't know if you can bypass that. Say, you know what, I'll wait, I'll go somewhere else, sign a one-year deal, and then I can sign a longer-term deal with more money. I don't know if Kawhi is going to be willing to roll the dice given his injury history. I think there's a better chance. I think there's a 60-40 chance he stays in Toronto because they can keep this thing together at least for one more year. All Marc Gasol has to do is pick up his player option. The only other guy that's free is Danny Green. Other than that, they bring back Siakam. Anunoby comes back. Serge Ibaka is there. Van Vliet just re-signed his contract. So they can keep this thing together for one more year. Skip, I don't know if I'm Kawhi. I'd do a one-year deal and let's wait and see. Given his injury history, I'm going to go and swoop this 5 for 191. I'm going to go and stay up in Toronto.
You're going to stay for 5 years?
Yeah.
Want to bet on this?
No. I'm just saying.
Okay. That's what you would do?
That's what I would do, given my injury history.
Okay.
He missed 73 games. He missed another 22 this year. You mentioned how many times? 5 games here, 8 games there, 10 games. That's a lot of games, Skip.
You make many good points. In fact, you make about 80 million good points across the table. I believe number 2 will stiff the Raptors just the way he stiffed the Spurs.
It's not stiffing.
Yeah, it is. It's stiffing. He just needed someplace to land for a year, and it all fell into place. It was all meant to be. Embiid got sick, and he got hurt. And then Clay got hurt, and then Kevin Durant got really hurt, and that was the end of that deal. And you know and I know if Klay Thompson had not gone down in Game 6, we would have had a Game 7, and we'd be sitting here today talking about the new NBA champions. No, it's the old NBA champions.
No.
It'd be the Golden State Warriors.
Kawhi wouldn't let that happen.
You don't
Kawhi
think
wouldn't
so?
let that happen.
At home?
No.
Boy, he stunk it up and disappeared at home a whole bunch. Played much better on the road. So, I cannot tell you how impressed I was by what I listened to this whole soundbite. Fred VanVleet has become the unsung leader of this team. He was the closer for this team. Hubie Brown made a case that he should have been the Finals MVP for this team because of the two-way job that he did, one on Steph Curry and also on making all the big fourth-quarter shots on offense. And I loved how he laid this out because it sounded to me like he was a little tired of this narrative of we're going to crawl and we're going to beg Kawhi, because they've been crawling and begging this whole year long. And they've been giving him all that he wanted, to all your points. Well, you want this? You want this? And it even went so far.
So we tired of kissing your butt, Kawhi. What you gonna do?
Yeah. And what was the dining thing downtown? Kawhi and Dine Him or whatever it was called. You know,
never have to
the
pay
initiative
for,
where you never have to pay for another meal. And then Siakam seemed a little offended because he was talking about somebody supposedly gave him a house or a lot.
A penthouse.
A penthouse. And Siakam said, well, where's my house? And he was kind of half kidding, but he was half kidding.
Bruh.
He's like, well, wait a second. I'm pretty good, too. Do I get a house?
Yeah, you was here the past 2 years. You got swept.
Well, he was.
That's what they took your house away from you. You could have had one had you not gotten swept the previous 2 years.
Okay. So my favorite line of yesterday came from Fred VanVleet when we just saw it, that if number 2 is on another team, then we just have to kick his ass next year. And he chuckled because everybody else started chuckling, but when he said it, he didn't mean it with the smile.
Dude,
you know, he wasn't kidding about it.
Hold on, Skip. My memory's a little foggy here because, you know, I've been celebrating. You know, I was on that amnesia. A couple of hits of that thing, and you forget everything you ever knew. Was Fred VanVleet on those 2 teams that got swept by LeBron? The only team that had a superstar, and they got swept.
He was an undrafted free agent
And he was
in his first 2 years.
And guess what?
Okay?
He was an undrafted free agent in year 3. And guess what he would have been? He would have been an undrafted free agent in year 3, not without a title, and did not got Kawhi. You should get mad. See, what you tried to do.
Wait, did LeBron James make the playoffs his first 2 years? I can't remember.
No, hold on. Talk about Skip. We're
I'm
not
foggy because
Skip.
I took some of that amnesia last night.
We're going to talk about LeBron a little later. I'm talking about right now, Skip, because what you guys tried to do, y'all tried to jettison him. What you tried to do in your Spurs, y'all tried to send him to Siberia. But what he did was set up shop and found oil. And guess what? He struck it rich.
Did he?
Yeah, on Jed Clampett.
Well, is he going to strike it rich again in Toronto, or is he coming to either L.A. or New York? Because I'm not ruling out where Uncle Dennis lives up in New Jersey, so you got Nets, Knicks.
You better not rule out that purple and gold.
Okay.
Oh, you be sick. Skip, you be sick, Skip.
What's he going to do? Play for free for the purple and
No,
gold?
we ain't gonna
I know
play
he
for
grew up a Laker fan.
No.
Is that what you're
He get
gonna
all
do?
23. You get all 23.
Yeah.
All 23. That's that 23.7, the cap space we got. And we can make some assurances under the table.
Well, if he said, I will come if you can get AD to waive his trade kicker, you know, the $4 million, because I want his $4 million.
Okay.
Then
we
would you do that?
Yeah, we do that.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're going
AD be happy with that?
Yeah, he's going to get 205
Clutch
next year.
client, would he fire his representation over that? He might.
Hold on. The best representation AD's ever had was one Rich Paul, because AD made it abundantly clear he no longer wanted to be in New Orleans and he wanted to come to L.A. And he felt the guy that could bet. Skip, you know how this thing go. When if you get a divorce in Beverly Hills, you go Marty Singer, you go see Laura Wasserman. That's what you do. You go get the best.
Do
the
you?
man wanted to leave.
How do you know the
Don't
best?
worry about all this. What I know, he wanted the best. He says, I want to leave New Orleans, and I want to go to this destination or that destination. Let me think who can get me there. Oh, one Richie Paul. He's small in stature, Skip. But you know what? He's on the cover of Sports Illustrated, hovering all large.
And it says Kingmaker, because he made LeBron James everything that he is today.
There you go. See, you always trying to sow dissension.
Well, that's what it said.
But the 5 horsemen, we won't let you come between us.
Are you the 5th horseman?
Yeah, I'm the 5th one. It's LeBron, Rich, Randy, Mav, and Shannon. The 5 horsemen, we ride tough.
Well,
Great
so
stuff,
what did I tell you about crime pays, as in basketball crime? But guess what? It doesn't pay financially for number 2, because now he's going to move for a second time, and his salary is just going to plummet. So maybe he should have stayed in San Antonio.
Oh, no,
all along.
because you didn't want to give him max. You said he wasn't a max player.
We're going to have to leave this one here because you guys could go back and forth over this all morning. One other thing that came out of that Van Vliet press conference yesterday, turns out he played in those finals with a